You are dwelling in a dream. Machiavelli's chilling warning echoes through time, never trust. You ascend, and suddenly, a hush falls over the room. Not out of reverence. Not out of awe. But because your very presence now starkly reminds others of their own perceived smallness. Power isolates, not by conscious choice, but by its very nature. And the higher you climb, the more acutely you realize, no one applauds when the king enters the room. They bow, or they silently scheme. Machiavelli understood this cruel paradox. He cautioned rulers to never become dependent on fleeting affection, never to seek solace in public opinion, and never to confuse mere proximity with genuine loyalty. Because when you wield true power, not mere popularity, but genuine influence, you inevitably forfeit something that most people desperately cling to throughout their lives. The comfortable illusion of companionship. Let's be brutally honest. Most people desire your success, just not more than their own. They will support you until your light begins to eclipse theirs. They will praise you until your strength threatens their established position. They will walk alongside you, but only if the path remains comfortable and familiar. But venture too far ahead, and you will, inevitably, walk alone. That profound solitude is not a punishment. It is the natural gravity of power. Because to think independently, to act without seeking constant permission, to carve your own unique path through a world built on rigid conformity, is to become a perplexing anomaly to the masses. And the more sovereign you become, the more inherently dangerous you appear. People do not envy what they readily understand. They envy what they cannot control. And nothing is more terrifying to the average individual than a person who refuses to flinch, refuses to beg, refuses to explain, refuses to need them. Machiavelli advised princes to cultivate the discipline of being alone with their thoughts, because in solitude, profound clarity is born. And in clarity, sophisticated strategy flourishes. But let's not pretend it's an effortless journey. There is an inherent coldness to sovereignty. It demands walking without the comfort of applause. It necessitates making decisions that will never earn you public praise. It requires the courage to utter no when everyone expects an automatic yes. It means inevitably losing people, not because you inflicted harm, but because you simply stopped needing them. Here's the harsh truth. Most relationships are fundamentally based on mutual need. Remove the need, and you often sever the bond. Grow strong enough to genuinely rely on no one, and observe how many gracefully vanish from your orbit. But grasp this profound insight. That resulting emptiness is sacred. Because in that profound silence, in that complete detachment from social craving, you unearth the most potent truth of all. You are enough. Not in a superficial, self-help, motivational poster kind of way, but in the raw, unyielding Machiavellian sense. You possess within you the innate capacity to stand alone, and still decisively move the world. Solitude is independence. Solitude does not equate to isolation. It means independence. It means becoming your own wisest counsel. It means trusting your own deep instincts far more than the fickle opinions of the crowd. When you no longer crave external validation, manipulation loses its insidious grip. When you no longer relentlessly chase approval, true freedom begins. When you no longer fear being alone, you become utterly ungovernable. This is precisely why Machiavelli, even, at times, though seductive, weakens the iron grip of clarity. And clarity is the indispensable weapon of the truly powerful. But heed this warning. Many will attempt to shame you for embracing this truth. They'll label you heartless, arrogant, aloof. They'll insist you fundamentally changed. That you've somehow lost yourself. But what you've truly lost is their leash. You've severed the invisible, constricting strings of social conditioning, the compulsive need to please, the desperate need to be liked, the ingrained need to belong at all costs. And in doing so, you have become extraordinarily dangerous. Here's the exhilarating paradox. Once you genuinely stop needing people, the right ones will inevitably gravitate towards you. Not the ones who demand your weakness, but those who profoundly respect you. Not the ones who seek to reshape you, but those who deeply value your unwavering sovereignty. So, embrace the solitude. Use it. Use it to relentlessly sharpen your mind. To forge unshakable discipline. To transform into someone who doesn't merely survive betrayal and isolation, but thrives precisely because of it. Because in this brutal, unpredictable game of power, there is only one absolute guarantee. The man who walks alone, walks faster. The masterpiece of trust. You've journeyed Machiavelli as your guide. You've learned that loyalty is often a deceptive mask worn by betrayal, that kindness can be a strategic weapon, and that in the relentless game of influence, you must ultimately expect to stand alone. Or hopeless.